What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we are checking out a new channel, 2 a.m. Thoughts. What if a modern destroyer fought the Spanish Armada? And honestly, who hasn't had those kinds of thoughts? Like, great channel name, by the way. Because it's always been, what would, I've actually wondered this. I was like, what would happen if like a fully loaded A-10 randomly popped up over 1940s Germany? You know, that kind of thing. And I thought it was pretty interesting. So here we are. I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, there's even an entire anime dedicated to it where a modern day JSDF, they say battleship. I'm pretty sure it was a destroyer. I'm not positive. Ends up somehow going back into 1945 or World War II, and they're like, the whole point of it is like, oh, do we decide to help the Imperial Navy or whatnot? I don't know. I found it kind of weird considering, you know, all the bad Japan did, but that might just be because they're kind of not really taught about it. Either way, let's jump straight into this. Make sure you guys check out the original. Let's go.
In 1588, summer in the English Channel is brutal. Fog rolls in fast. The wind changes without warning. Into this mess sails Spain's biggest fleet ever, the Spanish Armada. King Philip II sends them to reach the Low Countries, link up with Parma's army, and carry invasion troops to England. But this time, something no one understands is out there.
I am woefully unknowledgeable about this more or less era history. I'm woefully unknowledgeable about it.
A warship from the future. No flags, no signals anyone can read. It moves without the wind. Its radar can turn fog into a picture. Its engines make speed on demand. Its guns and missiles can hit well beyond any 16th century cannon. So,
see, while all true, my biggest thing is, do they have the ammo for it? That's always my whole thought process around this kind of shit. It's just like thought process and fuel. Fuel's a big one. You know? Like if they were nuclear powered like the aircraft carriers, not big a problem, but I don't think these run on nuclear power.
Destroyer delay or break the Spanish Armada invasion? Or would it be crushed by the 130-ship Armada? There are multiple directions we could take this. But remember, this is just a scenario I came up with at 2 a.m. So, it's not perfect, but it's the one I found most interesting.
I'd assume delay. Like, again, biggest issue is ammo.
There are a couple of survival rules that the destroyer needs to follow if it wants to maximize its damage against the Spanish Armada. The destroyer must stay out of grappling range. If hundreds of men with hooks and ladders get aboard, they can overwhelm any modern deck. They shoot at night and vanish by day. In daylight, they can still...
I don't necessarily agree with that. There'd be security troops on here and body armor, and their weapons would be, and the weapons that they would have are better than what they would have. So no,
engage
I don't agree with that.
But every mile of standoff costs fuel, and visibility makes them easier to box in. They waste nothing. Every shell and missile is a choice they won't get again. They accept some gear is suboptimal here. Many anti-ship missiles are tuned for big steel targets and modern
exactly. That's another thing.
A wooden galleon still dies if hit, but seekers and fusing behave differently over low-heat targets. Missiles are for the right ships, not every ship. The warship focuses on 3 objectives: denying the link-up with Parma's army, disrupting enemy command by cutting off messengers and signal ships so that orders lag or contradict each other, and starving the fleet of essentials: water, powder, spare masts. If those burn or scatter, the sea and storms will do the rest. If those 3 things happen, the invasion fails even if most of the Spanish hulls remain afloat. The first contact is at night.
Well, I want to know, like, how long would it take for them to get down there? Like, because the whole point of this whole thing is determining how long it would take.
The destroyer runs dark.
Or
no lights,
how long they have.
Radar, fog for cover. Radar shows a curve of ships, Small ones outside, heavy ones inside. It stays well beyond cannon range and only closes when it wants. The destroyer's first targets are the steering and support ships. 2 or 3 airburst shells are fired over a galleass's crowded deck. They blind and shock the crew. Fragments cut rigging and sails. Men drop. Then the rudder is hit. A ship that can't steer becomes a drifting obstacle. The modern ship angles out and back to keep its distance. It repositions, then repeats the entire attack sequence. No hero charge, no sitting still. So why doesn't it fire missiles right away? Missiles are precious, and wooden ships make odd radar targets.
Yeah.
The destroyer saves them for...
And especially with how close together they are, it could jumble up the fucking tracking. Could. I don't know how they would work. I don't know. I feel like if you took out the big ass ships in the beginning, it really fucked them over.
Command ships,
and really
or for HOARD ships
mess
that
with
try
them.
to box it in. On the Armada side, soldiers are confused and terrified. Bright flashes light the sky, loud explosions. Then metal shards rain down on the deck. They fire their cannons into the dark, but no answer comes. The night and fog
they'd
choke
only
their
maybe
vision.
hear it.
Only the lookouts could see a dark, mysterious figure moving in the distance, but it's too late. At dawn, the Armada suffered heavy losses. Limping ships, bad steering, and a few injured and dead men. The destroyer's next objective is to wipe out the Armada's precious resources. But in broad daylight, getting close is much harder. That's why they deploy a helicopter, equipped with night vision and guided rockets, perfect for precision strikes on slow, soft targets like barges and...
Why'd you bring up night vision? This is during the day. If this is during the day, night vision doesn't matter.
Powder boats. With the helicopter, the modern ship can easily locate barge clusters carrying precious supplies. Guided rockets or hellfires are fired, small warheads, precise hits. A single strike on a powder lighter can turn it into a fireball that rips through nearby rigging. On deck, Spanish soldiers...
Also, you'd be able to really fuck up a wooden ship with a hellfire.
Hard chopping in the sky. A dark shape hangs in the fog. Bright streaks drop and explode, tearing planks and rigging. Officers shout to cover the powder and cut burning rope. Muskets and cannons fire upward in an attempt to hit the helicopter, but the shots vanish into the clouds. When the noise fades...
And a hellfire has a huge range. They wouldn't need to be anywhere close to it. Like, no, they wouldn't need to be the helicopter wouldn't need to be anywhere close to
Soldiers
it to
get 5
rounds off.
For that sound again.
Shots off.
The strange flying ship is leaving. The lookouts track the helicopter and finally spot the destroyer in the distance. They alert the officers, and soon everyone realizes this is what struck them last night. The reaction among the army is mixed. Some start praying while others hide in terror. Some believe it's a ghost ship sent to take them. The bravest officers shout for the men to stay calm and keep fighting. But it's clear the destroyer's tactics are working. Some resources have already been destroyed. Ships are limping, and the army's morale is shaken. The Armada finally
God, that's
attacks.
a good point. That's a very good point. The God, what do I want to say? Morale. The morale factor is a big point to this that I didn't even think of.
They tighten their formation and push the galleasses forward as blockers. The destroyer spots their movement and unleashes all its weaponry in a counterattack while keeping its distance. Again,
it wouldn't need to fire all of them.
Airburst over the lead galleons. Splinters, shredded rigging, men drop. Missiles are finally launched. A few miss, but some explode against the largest ships with ease. The formation wobbles but keeps coming. A few faster ships gain a little, but CIWS 30mm and .50 caliber hose masts and decks. Muskets and round shot crackle back, but fall short or skip harmlessly. With leaders crippled,
they wouldn't be able to
charge
pen it.
collapses into drifting clusters. The Spanish are completely hopeless. Orders keep changing, and captains think of survival first and the mission second. Link with Parma turns into get home. The charge stops,
smart.
And the ships scatter. The once imposing armada is no more. Spanish men would tell story later. They came into port calling it the Iron Ghost, a mastless metal ship that stayed out of reach and rained thunder from the sky.
Okay.
Officers
I was about to
describe
say
an
something. I
enemy
forget what it
engine.
was.
Chaplains frame it as a trial from God. On English shores, people talk about thunder with no lightning and a ghost ship that moved against the wind.
See, look, another good one. Another really good question to think. What will happen if a platoon? Again, my biggest issue is ammo. Someone who does this really well is administrative results. He has a second channel, or one of his the bureau files or whatever, where he actually talks about like how he would defend Helm's Deep just in general. I would love to see if he has something like this, because I find this kind of questioning really interesting. The biggest issue always for me is ammo. Let me know what you guys think down below. Well, that was what if a modern destroyer fought the Spanish Armada, and honestly, not really different from what I would assume, honestly. Make sure you guys watch the original, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.